Welcome back to Lou's CIS demos. Today we're going to be talking about wireshack. We already had a previous video on how to download and install that for a Windows machine. So just wanted to go over some real fundamental basics of how to use wireshack. Essentially, you have your packet, capture options. You have your different inputs for what interface you're going to use, output. So here you can use the PC or the PCAP NG or just the PCAP. You can set up where you want your file to be stored temporarily. If you're going to capture for a long period of time, you can set it up by capturing by length of time or by megabytes or gigabytes. I recommend doing it by megabytes. This way, if you let it run too long and run out of disk space, you won't lose your PCAPs. You'll have your previous ones because they'll be written to the disk. It's been my preferred method of using it. If you're doing a very short period of time, then not too bad. But you gotta remember, the PCAP's going to get large very quick depending on the throughput of whatever you're capturing. So from there, again, you have your options where you can look up your MAC address. So it'll look up the MAC address, resolve it. Same thing with network names, things like that. I'm going to just leave it with the defaults. I'm just going to cancel out of it. Alright, so I'm going to select my network card and then just hit Alright, so now I got my network card, my Wi-Fi card selected. And then I'm just going to hit capture, start, and now we can see packets going in. So I'm going to go to my DOS prompt real quick and do an ipconfig release and type in renewal. And then I just want to do an example of NS lookup doing, let's just pick yahoo.com. There we can see a bunch of different names. And then exit out. And then you can see we've captured quite a bit of packets. So now I'm going to let it stop. So here as we scroll through, you can see all the different traffic that was going on in my network. Here we can sort it by source, destination. So let's sort it by protocols. So here you can see where my workstation, and here's what the packet looks like. So you can see here where we've done the release. So here's where I'm telling the DHCP server I do no longer need the IP address anymore. So here you can see what the packet looks like. And then here when I did the IP renew, I no longer had an IP address. So I'm essentially, here's what the packet looks like. So here we got the frames. So here's all the makeup of the file. Because we're using Ethernet, we're using IP version 4. Here we're doing a broadcast. Our source is blank because we don't have currently an IP address. Here we're doing a broadcast because we're using 255, saying hey, trying to get the attention of the DHCP server, and so on. And then here we can see, here's where the DHCP server responds, and then he gives us the offer. and then you can see here's the request of the packet, and then here's our acknowledgement saying, cool, we are good with this address. So just a couple different ways you can use Wireshark is just to kind of learn some different things. Here we can see, here's our DNS. As we did our NS lookup, you can see my machine doing a various difference of DNS queries. So, and what's nice about using this tool, it's not going to damage your machine or anything. So, all you're going to do is use up disk space. So that's kind of nice, and it's a good way to learn how to use things. So here we can see ARP's requests, like here, my network is yelling, hey, who has this address? And then this one's responding back and forth, so you can see what's going on in the network. So this is a very powerful tool. You can use this to see what's going on with your network. It's a great open source tool. I recommend that you grab some PCAPs, and what's great is then you can turn around and save these PCAPs. And then you can open them up later, or you can open up in other tools. So standard PCAPs are a standard file format, or we can just say we only want to filter out certain PCAPs because we only want those PCAPs to be, we want to save those and don't care about the rest. So there's a couple different things you can do. This is just a quick little, hey, let's just get started with using this. And then you have expressions. This is where you can go in and modify, not necessarily modify, but sort or filter out packets. So if you were interested in any particular type of packet, you can even do a search, but there is a ton of different things you can do a search on. So if you have an idea what you want, so let's say DHCP, here we can see where we're getting DHCP information, and then we can say is present, and we can hit OK, and then we can do additional features, or we can at least just say apply this filter. Okay, so I particularly didn't have the right filter in here, but you get the idea. And then if you made a mistake in your filter, you just type out your filter, and then you're good to go. So if we want to just say we only want to see apply this as so if we want to follow this upstream, there you can see the whole the whole packets that makes this. So here you can see is the 3 packets: the release, the offer, the acknowledgement of it. So there's a quick way of seeing how everything's filtered out. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye now.